Welcome everybody to the very first episode of the Villain Show. I'm your host, Valen, and today we'll be talking about all things Chelsea related. So, as we all seen over the weekend that just happened, Chelsea unfortunately will not be playing in the Europa League, which is quite unfortunate really because that's what everybody had hoped, even myself. I thought that we would make Europa League and have the opportunity to win it for a third time, but it is what it is. Man City decided to turn up half the squad hungover and just decided to let United have their way with it. I mean, by all means, we can't behave like Arsenal fans, right? Begging the rivals to beat the other team. So now we are stuck with the Conference League, or we think that we are stuck with them because recently there are news saying that Chelsea might not potentially be playing in the Conference League, and that's due to financial fair play. So so if chooses to participate in the competition, we have to ensure that we do not make more than 110 million loss in 2 seasons, which I think it is pretty steep for Chelsea right now, knowing how we have been signing players and flipping them left, right, and center. Alternate, so yeah, it's a bit more of a challenge if we were to participate in the Conference League. Alternatively, we could just choose not to participate at all. We can just say, nope, we are too good for the competition. Let's go. Let's drop out of it. I mean, Spurs did that under Conte, where they were disqualified just because Conte refused to let the players go and play against the Conference League. So yeah. So if you ask me, my personal opinion, what I think Chelsea should do, it would be to try and compete for the Conference League. Yes, I know it's the Conference League. Our players are too good for them. We are Chelsea. This is a crap competition that we deserve to not even entertain at all. But for me, it's like winners can't be. Uh, sorry, beggars can't be. We can't be begging for it. Yeah. So and it's a competition which this young squad have the opportunity to win and get trophies and build on the confidence levels. We all know what happened when Jose Mourinho first took over. Look, I'm saying I understand Jose Mourinho is completely in a different spectrum compared to where we are right now. But the thing is, we still had to win a cup before we became the Chelsea that we all know and love. So, I mean, Conference League, yes, it is a kind of a undermined competition. The prize money is not there really. The recognition is not really there. We are wasting resources, needing to constantly travel to real, real rural places of Europe to play games against clubs that we ourselves have not heard about. I mean, it is what it is really, but I don't necessarily say that we shouldn't participate because look, I believe that we will be getting Roberto De Zerbi. He's the guy that I really wanted from the start since Pochettino was here. So with him, I think gives him the opportunity to win and challenge for a trophy, and also the game time needed for him to implement his philosophies and ideas into the squad. So it's like you can have youngsters coming in, playing the games, and also having lower level oppositions where he can kind of tweak the system, try something new, see whether it works, and also let the squad become more familiarized with themselves with the tactical side of things from the Zerbi, as we all know. So yeah, for me, if you ask me, it's an opportunity to win a trophy. Let's just win it, and we can be the first club that said that we won all the competitions in Europe. But I get some fans saying that we shouldn't participate. It is nothing against the idea of participating with that type of trophy and all of that. But I think it does. I understand both sides of the spectrum. Like one is we might be making financial losses, it might affect our chances. In Europe, we might get hit with point deductions and whatnot. Like what happened to Juventus, they were disqualified after they failed to clear FFP. So I don't I get that, and I also understand that some of you may go with the perspective of it gives us longer days in between for the squad and Roberto De Zerbi to train and understand the system, which fair enough, I agree with that as well. But training is one thing, implementing it into a game is a totally different feeling. So therefore, I think that maybe it's not really a bad thing. But yes, if we are inside the Conference League, we have to win it. We have no, we have to win it, and there's no other dog. You can't just go in there being as big as a club as Chelsea and not winning this type of easy competition. I mean, it's kind of, you would think with the player qualities that we have, we would be able to single-handedly win it with our B team, let alone our A team. And yeah, it gives us chances to see the likes of your youth players. So maybe Alfie Gilchrist at centre back, we might see Keanu Dyer, we might see Leo Cassadine, we might see Josh Akimpom again. Who else is that? Tyreek George, who is a very highly touted youth player from our squad. Ish Smith Samuels, the left back, and maybe Ted Kurt, the goalkeeper. You never know. And alternatively, we might use that type of competitions to play guys who are not the main starters like your Disassis. Because look, if Roberto De Zerbi comes to Chelsea, Axel Disasi is not going to start. He is not a De Zerbi player. De Zerbi likes his defense to be up, pushed up. Axel Disasi, in my opinion, he is similar to that of a Harry Maguire, who likes to be a box defender, who likes to sit in his box, low block style, and the ball comes in, he hits the ball, he clears it out. That's it. He's not really a guy that comes out aggressive, dictate tempo from the back. Cole does that. Fofana, to a certain extent, can do that. Badiashile can be coached. I think he can. And I don't think Disasi is. I think it's gone a bit too late for Disasi to change his style of play because he's 26 right now. But look, I could be wrong because De Zerbi at the end of the day is a trainer. He's not a manager. He's more of a trainer that trains the players. So you never know with how he helps coach the team. So yeah, and speaking of which, let me show you. Hold on. Yeah, this. So Chelsea will be playing a two-legged tie on August 22nd and 29th. In my opinion, it's basically the start of the Premier League. So yeah, and let's not forget there will be Euros as well. We have our friendlies out. We have what, Wrexham, Real Madrid, a few other games in the States. I mean, I think it might be overkill to get the players playing so much games at the beginning of the season. It's not that uh I don't think it's feasible for them in terms of their health as well. So yeah, if you ask me, in my own personal opinion, I think we should compete. We should try and win the Conference League and get the players familiarized with winning a trophy. Get De Zerbi to understand, oh, so this is how it feels. Let's say again, Roberto De Zerbi has won trophies before. As much as people go about making fun of him, saying that he doesn't really win trophies, he does. But look, a European trophy under your CV is still fantastic. Not a lot of managers can say that. Jose Mourinho, I think Mourinho completed all of the European competitions, so why not Chelsea, following his footsteps? So yeah, but I get the game time and situations and stuff, but it's not really my cup of tea. Like I can see both sides of how you would say let's not participate in this because there are more cons than there is more advantages for us. Which I agree, yes. because look, we will be hit even harder for FFP, more resources will be used for the players, lesser training times. If you ask me, the players and the coach, I think De Zerbi would say he will compete. But if you ask me, I will say compete as well, but that's what my heart says. My mind, on the other hand, says that, you know what, let's just bite the bullet for one more season. Let's drop out of Europe. Because it's not even, I don't even know if the players themselves will get excited for the game. I don't know if they can stay motivated and they want to win competitive. Because look, I was just having a look and seeing what are the teams from the top leagues, like your Serie A's, La Ligas, Bundesligas, that would qualify for this competition. So I checked, I saw Real Betis is one team that will be coming in. Fiorentina currently are positioned as the team from the Serie A to come into the Conference League, but they are playing the final. So if they win that, and if they come into Europa League, I am not sure if Torino gets the spot or Lazio drops out of Europa League and comes into the Conference League. In Bundesliga, Heidenheim gets the opportunity, not making fun of Heidenheim, because look, I think 1-2 years ago, or even last year, they might be a prospect to be relegated, and they came all the way up to a Europa Conference League spot, which is very impressive. Not gonna deny that. But these names, I don't know if the players are gonna wake up and be like, yes, let's go and win it. Because we all know that sometimes they are just gonna sit down and be unmotivated, not really riled up for the match. So there are more cons in us playing Conference League than is more pros. But on the other hand, if we win the Conference League, we definitely getting Europa League. And we don't know, we are in Chelsea, we don't know if we are gonna be shit or if we're gonna be good. When I say bad and good, I mean we don't know where we'll finish in the league table. If you ask me, I think we get top 4 with De Zerbi. But look, there's always the possibility of him having a messed up season like Graham Potter and us falling all the way out to like 10, 11. Or we could be really good and be in the Champions League, as I mentioned earlier. So if you ask me, after speaking my mind out, I think we should consider dropping out of it because the prize pool as well don't really help us much. So that's what I think. I think give De Zerbi the time to coach his players, coach the team, tactically implement his philosophy, and then we can. Right now, what Jose used to say, baby horse. So he needs milk, he needs guidance, he needs trainings before he can be ready to jump the hoops or whatever they call it. So now moving on, let's have a look at what's been at Chelsea's happening right now. So yeah, hold on for a second. So yeah, for example, okay, moving on right now, we're going to be talking about a lot of people's favorite, preferably their preference, Ruben Amorim. I think Ruben Amorim, personally, if you ask me, he isn't necessarily the main guy that I would prefer because I always like my managers to be someone that has a philosophy that is trying to implement his style of play, which after watching his videos of Amorim and watching the game, the Portuguese Cup final, just a couple hours back, Ruben Amorim strikes me as like a Jose Mourinho, David Moyes style of manager who prioritizes his defense first and make sure it's solid before moving forward. So, and I watched the game. I saw he liked to prioritize set pieces, which they scored the first goal in. I mean, okay, good on you, but once you go down, I don't see you being gutsy enough to actually say, okay, let's change it up. Let's go with a 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1. Let's go and attack and get the next goal, the winner. Which he clearly didn't do. He stuck to the five at the back until Saint Juice got sent off. I mean, and if you ask me, Ruben Amorim, I think he is a better fit right now for a West Ham. Honestly, after watching his game, I think he is good for West Ham or an Italian club. They will love his style of play. But right now to the Premier League, I don't know. I don't know if it's ready to take that step. If you ask me, I think Amorim should go to Serie A. Let's say if what's his name? Simone Inzaghi gets poached to, I don't know, La Liga, Premier League, or Bundesliga, I think Inter should go in for Ruben Amorim. Similar style of play. The players, Italians, they know how to defend. I think it's a match made in heaven for Ruben Amorim. I think he will win the Serie A title with Inter. But then again, a lot of managers can win the Serie A title with Inter right now because they are the best team there. So yeah, you ask me, Amorim right now with the squad we have, I don't think it's suited to his style of play. And the biggest question and biggest debate right now would be the midfield. How is he going to set up the midfield? He played Dario and Braganza in the pivot. If you ask me, I think Dario is too young and Braganza is not as physically imposing in midfield. So it kind of makes sense to see Porto dominating the ball after they conceded the goal. So yeah. And ultimately Ruben Amorim, which we had a lot of YouTubers coming out and saying that he will win the cup and all because of he's a winner. Yeah, but he didn't win though. So what's your excuse? If you ask me, Chelsea have had Portuguese managers who were very successful at their Portuguese clubs. And look, if Amorim in the future comes to Chelsea, he may be as good as a Jose Mourinho. But let's not forget, we have seen both sides of Portuguese managers. One was Jose, which was right to the very top. And the other one was AVB, Andre Villas-Boas. Let's not forget, AVB won a Europa League. He won a treble before coming to Chelsea as well. Amorim has not won a treble. He's won domestically, but he has not won on the continental competition, which you would want somebody from a league like Liga NOS or the Eredivisie to win, to stand out and say, "Hi, I am this person. I won the European competition. Do you want me?" But I mean, winning the league title with Sporting, I mean, look, budget-wise, it's impressive. They even beat Arsenal, which you can't deny. But at the end of the day, what's the metrics that measures success in football? Trophies. We have seen Eric Ten Hag come down from Ajax being the most successful manager and struggling, but he still won FA Cups. But you don't see many United fans going around saying that Eric Ten Hag should stay. A lot of them say that I think it's best he leaves. So if you ask me, I don't think Ruben Amorim right now is the guy to take over at Chelsea because personally his style of play don't suit the players we have. That's it. You may say he's a winner, his CV looks good. I mean, yes, I understand all that, but I think he is no different to taking away his CVs and his trophies. I think he is nothing dissimilar to a David Moyes. But what I call him is the Portuguese Conte because we all know Conte does well domestically and he always fumbles the bag in European competitions. So that's my opinion about that. So moving on, let's go and talk about Enzo Maresca, my second favorite Italian man, Enzo Maresca. Look, let me make things clear. Enzo Maresca and Thomas Frank are not coming to Chelsea. No way this club is going to appoint someone that inexperienced to take over that club and demand expensive football and also top four Champions League qualifications. No way. The club isn't stupid, and I feel that they are playing us like a fiddle. They are pushing out these notes of, oh, let's hire Kieran McKenna, let's hire Maresca. Like many YouTubers have come out, or many people on social media have come out saying that actually, you know what, they know that the fan base will not be so happy if a Roberto De Zerbi. I mean, if you ask me, I wanted De Zerbi, but fine by all respect to you guys. But if De Zerbi was immediately announced, a lot of flag, a lot of flag would be hit back to the owners and the sporting directors. They know, oh, another Brighton guy. Oh my God, we're helping back. We are getting a guy who don't win trophies. He's what he only won seven. The what? How many games he was on a bad run of form. I get that. Look, so I understand also the board's opinion on why they want to do that. They needed to make sure that the standards have been lowered, that a McKenna, a Maresca, heck, even a Thomas Frank was listed in the shortlist. If you ask me, I don't necessarily think that was the case. They just wanted them to look as, just wanted the fans to see that, oh no, this club is hiring bumps lah. But reality is they always, in my personal opinion, and seeing some of those guys on social media saying it, I believe Deserve is a done deal, and they're just pushing the PR out, which is very scary. And let's not forget, Chelsea have guys that they hired that used to work for the Athletic. I can't remember the guy's name, but he knows fellow journalists and all, and we all know them close knit. Chelsea wants to have a what is it called? They want to have a very tight grasp on the media industry, especially in the footballing world. So it's kind of mad. It's really mad, and they're playing the fans like a fiddle. But right now, I think a lot of people have started realizing what's happening. Because come on, Enzo Maresca and what's his name? Thomas Frank are the only two known options. We all know that's a lie. Known options. There are unknown options as well, who, if you ask me, is already signed, sealed, and delivered. I think Roberto De Zerbi has already met the players. I think he has spoken to them. I think he has even met Madrid, who we all know is constantly pushing Roberto De Zerbi through his social medias with his likes and all. I mean, it will be Roberto De Zerbi because, like you say, our squad suits him to a to a T. We have players that would suit him. Look, I always call Modric the Ukrainian Hector Bellerin, so it's his chance to try and prove me wrong right now. But like what some of the people say in like previous podcasts, previous YouTube channels, they say that they gave the comparison: Fernando Torres, Rafa Benitez, Maurizio Sarri, Higuain, my former players and managers meet again at Chelsea, and they don't hit the ceilings of their previous tenures of their previous clubs. So it's nothing really. I get the argument, but Roberto De Zerbi is meeting with Moises Caicedo, Levi Colwill, Mikhailo Modric. Three guys who I think he's going to start. Modric is going to be on the left wing, Colwill left center back, 100%. We're going to see Caicedo and Enzo pivot, most likely those two. Lavia will come in. I think he's going to play Carney in the pivot as well. It wouldn't surprise me because Carney Chukwuemeka can do that. And I believe if we are hit with injuries and whatnot, he would put Carney there. Personally, I think Carney Chukwuemeka should go on loan because it's already been 2 years. Let's not stop his development. Let's send him somewhere and finally develop. If you ask me, I would love to take Andre Santos. Leslie Ugochukwu, I don't think he fits De Zerbi right now because what I've seen, he doesn't really have the technical abilities. But if we are going back in time, one player you could think that Leslie Ugochukwu could emulate and become, it was when De Zerbi was at Sassuolo and he coached a very young Italian player called Manuel Locatelli. I rate Locatelli. I think he's a fantastic midfield general. I mean, look, he might have had one of the bad seasons in Juve and all, but personally, I rate Locatelli. I think yes, he's like an upgraded version of Jorginho, which I also rate. So yeah, I mean, it's nothing. I think the players deserve can coach something out of them and make sure their values consistently stay where they are right now. Some would rise, as we all know. But yeah, I think De Zerbi right now is my opinion, my option, and Maresca and Maresca, McKenna, Frank. I think these guys are just hoaxers, smoke screens. That's what people have been saying. So yeah. So yeah, I forgot about this. Eden Hazard. So let's see. The Prince of Chelsea came out with a statement saying he was a bit sad for Pochettino. I mean, look, we all knew Eden Hazard was excited to play for Pochettino. He mentioned that Pochettino was a coach he would love to have played under because Pochettino gives him the freedom. Pochettino is a very good man manager. I mean, Hazard doesn't really like managers that do repetitive system trainings, implementing the same style of play. He hates that. So Pochettino would just let him say, "All right, you have the ball and just go and play," which Hazard loves to do. So yeah, Eden Hazard, I'm pretty certain he knows who's the next manager right now, especially when he is retired. He helped out with Romeo Lavia's announcement. He knows also, but he's not saying much. I genuinely think Eden Hazard have heard because he still has friends at Stamford Bridge, at Cobham, that would be talking, that would be saying stuff. And look, Eden Hazard's agent is always in the footballing agents. They talk about other agents as well. They might just name drop something to him. He's obviously curious to know what's going to happen at Chelsea. But if you ask me, I would absolutely love Roberto De Zerbi there and Cesc Fabregas coming back. I love Fabregas. He was a fantastic player to have. Honestly, one of the best guys we had after Lampard left. Oh my god, the first game against Burnley was his best assist. And nobody can say that. I mean, the most important assist maybe it might be another game, but his best one was the Burnley game. One touch. Andre Schürrle scores. Fantastic. Let's not forget, Cesc Fabregas is somebody I really admire. I would like him to come to Chelsea as a manager right now, not as an assistant. I think De Zerbi should bring his own staff of guys. We have the set piece coach coming from Brentford. I think it's okay. Cesc Fabregas, go and play Serie A football with Como. Do well. Try not to get relegated. We can even send some of our players like your Diego Moreira, Andre Santos, David Washington over them. As a loan, I mean, look, I'm pretty certain that happens. And if Fabregas does well enough, he can go to Strasbourg, become the manager there, try it out. Let's say Patrick Vieira doesn't work, Fabregas can come in and develop, gets his step up, try to help Strasbourg get good enough, and then by that time, you don't know. He might have the experience already. Fingers crossed he gets European competitions in either one. I mean, we don't know where, but hopefully he gets it. And then he comes back to Chelsea. because most Chelsea fans rate Fabregas more than Arsenal fans. We recognize him as our player. I mean, Arsenal fans, there are a handful that say that yes, Fabregas is theirs. But I think Cesc Fabregas has a better attachment towards Chelsea Football Club. So, I mean, look, I would love to have Cesc Fabregas back. If everybody's saying that, oh, we need Arteta, okay, bring me Cesc Fabregas. He's played under Mourinho, he's played under Pep, he's played under, who else he played under? He didn't play under Carlo. Okay, Mourinho and Wenger. So yeah, so these are the three guys that he played under, three legends of the games. So I think Fabregas would do really, really well. And let's not forget Conte as well. For Sarri, in his final season, he understood the game better, the passing style, intricacies. And let's not forget Vicente Del Boss when he was in Spain. He had to interact with the likes of Xavi Hernandez, Iniesta, Busquets, Xabi Alonso, who is now a top manager. For me, if you ask me, Como is a team that I'll be watching out for in this area just to see how well Fabregas progresses. And also Strasbourg, because look, I just hope Strasbourg does well for the fans. They are part of our umbrella. And look, we have players like Andre Santos who's developing well there right now. Unfortunately, Angelo Gabriel is injured. Maybe next season they go there again to try one more time before coming back to the Premier League. So yeah, I think Vieira's doing an okay job. Fans not really liking the owners. I don't blame them. Look, I understand some Chelsea fans are also not really liking the owners, but if you ask me, I think they are kind of misguided right now. They don't know what they really want to do. They don't know if they want to be a Dortmund who is just churning out quality players and selling them, or if not, they want to be like a Man City whereby they get the best of the best and they keep them here, and then they say, okay, you can go, you can get rid. I think the owners are kind of stuck because it looks like both sides are not necessarily on the same page right now. Like Boli, in my opinion, he's giving the impression of, okay, I'm stepping away, you guys do it. Let's just keep the manager and write it out with him because, I mean, look, Boli is the one of the owners of the what is it called, the MLB franchises, the Major League Baseball teams, and he's kept the coach for how many years? I think 7, 8 years already. He doesn't really see the coach as somebody important to keep. Whereas Ekbali, on the other hand, is like, we know he's making decisions of sacking him left, right, and center. Even when Tuchel got sacked, it was mostly down to Ekbali. Pochettino got sacked, was down to Ekbali. If De Zerbi, touch wood, were to get sacked, it probably goes down to Ekbali. If you ask me, I think Bowley is the good guy. If you ask, for the managers, he appears as the good guy, and Ekbali appears as the uh, what's the what term you use, the dictator. I mean, and let's not forget the two goons on top, Winstanley and Stewart. Look, let me make things clear. If we do hire Roberto De Zerbi, personally, I think Winstanley is higher up the pecking order compared to Lawrence Stewart. You can't deny it because Paul Winstanley is pushing for him. I think Lawrence Stewart tries to push for Sebastian Hoeneß, which couldn't get that. I also heard news that uh, Lawrence Stewart liked Eddie Howe, which wasn't really like really feasible because Newcastle, they're gonna lose Dan Ashworth, they're not gonna lose Eddie Howe as well, despite not getting any European competition. And why would you pay money to Newcastle, take Eddie Howe when they use that same amount of money to get an even better coach? We shouldn't do that. Unless they say Eddie Howe. Personally, I don't want Eddie Howe. I think he's like a West Ham manager at best. Even Aston Villa would be a pretty good side for him. Right now, with the squad that Unai Emery is building, I think they can do a pretty good job. So yeah. So let's look at it. If any other footballing news. Let's see. Oh yes. I want to touch on this. This guy, Don Antonio Conte. Honest opinion, when I first saw this, I immediately laughed because this is pretty much one of the dumbest appointments that you could do, especially knowing Aurelio De Laurentiis and Antonio Conte's characteristics. Their personalities don't match at all. But I went to see why first. I said, why would ADL try a accept appointing somebody like Antonio Conte? And they missed out on Europe. That's the main reason. So I get that. I think it's out of desperation. They need somebody to ensure that they do get a European spot. Yeah, when I say miss out of Europe means they missed out even the Conference League. So yeah, Conte definitely guarantees you success in the domestic competitions, 100%. He will definitely get you a cup. He might win you the league, but you need to get him his players. What players he say? You have to get him these players because we have seen time and time and time again that Antonio Conte would throw his toys out the pram if he don't get his players. I think Conte stays for one season before being sacked. I don't see this relationship between Napoli and Conte working out well because of De Laurentiis and him. Their personalities are too what's the word? They too contradicting. They would definitely have arguments in the boardrooms. Fights will happen because they are two like-minded individuals to a certain level. Victor Osimhen is leaving. Conte is probably coming to say I want Lukaku, which personally as a Chelsea fan, I would say, thank you, Conte. Here, 35 million, Lukaku gone. You can have him. Or we offer Lukaku and 100 million for or 80 million for Osimhen. I think there's a fair deal. But guys like Kapica, Kvaratskhelia, I think he's gonna be an unfortunate casualty in Conte's team. Because Conte likes to play 3-5-2 more. I don't know if he's gonna adopt a 3-4-3. I think he's gonna play 3-5-2. He's gonna play Lukaku there. He's gonna maybe use Kvaratskhelia. And then as a 10, who knows? But personally, I think Conte gets them maybe Europa League this coming season. I don't think he wins them anything. He does well in the cups, maybe a semi-final. But ultimately, I think there will be a falling out. As many Chelsea fans are worried of De Zerbi falling out with our board, this guy 100% will fall out with ADL and the whole Napoli board. I guarantee you this. Conte will definitely do that. And let's not forget, ADL will not spend so much money. Right now, they are out of Europe. He's desperate. I understand that he will try and get Conte his players right now, maybe 3 to 4 players. In January, he's not gonna spend money. Conte will get annoyed. In summer, they're probably losing another big player, maybe Kvaratskhelia, maybe Di Lorenzo, maybe what's his name? Maybe someone big. And that will annoy Conte because he will come and say, can I have this experienced old guy? And the board and the owner will say, no. And that's when, as we all say, things turn sour. Conte will start saying stuff in the media. Things happen left, right, and center. And then he's gone. So yeah, if you ask me, Conte was probably gone after a season, maybe 2 seasons at best. So yeah. So it's pretty much seems like what I'm gonna talk about for the day. Thank you very much for spending your time listening to my very first episode. I'm new to this thing. I'm trying to improve. Uh, If anybody's watching or rewatching the episode, give me some comments, give me some feedback on how I can work to make this better. All right. Thank you so much. I see you guys in a bit. Peace.